Hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. So we have an interesting next hour is going to be quite interesting. We have the splashdown of the Dragon capsule with the Inspiration 4 crew on. So yeah, it's going to be fairly interesting. We've got, as you can see just below me here, that is a live view of them. This is the SpaceX web feed. And yeah, we're gonna, oh, look at that, that is the largest window crucible ever flown into space. It is mental. And I know what the flat earthers are going to say right here. Look at the fisheye. Now it's not a fisheye, that's a bit of a wider angle lens. So they've just done their deorbit burn. So we're going to get some sound up.
That is fantastic, and I think Chris has been very busy taking photos of the Earth through the cupola and trying to make as much of his time in space as possible and give back to the community.
Yeah. Today's drink is
and there he is with his camera.
Lucasade Orange.
He's been taking tons of photos up there. I can't wait to see.
I would have loved to take some photos out of that.
There he is. Inside of the cupola.
Yes, awesome. As busy as ever. And Chris himself, when he was younger, he used to stargaze on the rooftop of his high school, and so now he gets to Earth gaze.
Why can't I get? Come on, go away. There we go.
Getting confirmation that the deorbit burn has already begun. We're well into it. Again, it's going to last for about 15 minutes and end approximately at 3:32 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah, and again, in the last 10 minutes or so, we've had a number of events during this deorbit sequence. We had claw separation. The claw is basically what attaches the Dragon trunk to the capsule and has umbilicals between the two. We've jettisoned the Dragon trunk, exposing the heat shields on the bottom of the capsule, and now
it's going to be sick.
Currently in progress of the deorbit burn, which is going to basically deorbit the vehicle and get it on a trajectory on its way back home to Earth.
There we go.
Yeah, the deorbit burn uses the Draco engines on Dragon. There's 16 of them. Forward of, so underneath the nose cone, there are 4 there, and after we're done with this deorbit burn, we're not going to need those 4 anymore, so we'll close the hatch. Dragon also has another subset of engines known as the Super Dracos. We're not using them as part of the splashdown. They're super strong, and they're really only reserved for the launch escape system during ascent or in case there's an emergency, but we're just relying on the Draco engines right now.
That's pretty cool.
What you're looking at on your screen is a live view inside of Dragon, and on your left-hand side is the commander of this mission, Jared Isaacman. On the right-hand side was Dr. Science Proctor, the pilot for the mission. And again, awesome view from the outside, looking at the cupola on the Dragon and the 4 Draco thrusters. This is actually the location of where those 4 Draco thrusters are. And as Andy mentioned, once we do complete this deorbit burn, it's only going to last about 15 minutes. Once we complete that, we will begin to close the nose cone, which will basically cover this top portion that you're seeing on the screen.
I mean,
I
that's
love
pretty
this
cool.
Shot. If you pay close attention, so the team is suited up in their spacesuits. The gloves themselves are actually conductive, so they can still use the touch screen and interface with the monitors through the spacesuits. And right now we have the visors up, but the suits themselves, the way they're created, it's a one-piece suit, and the helmets are actually 3D printed and customized for each of the crew members.
Yeah, and right now, Jared, Cyan, Haley, and Chris are currently using their screens on their tabs, and they're basically following along every one of these events. You know, they are out in space and inside of this vehicle, so when the thrusters do turn on, they do feel that, and they can hear some of that from inside of the capsule. It doesn't exactly sound like what you would hear an engine sound like down here on Earth, but they do hear some of the clicking of the valve when the engines do start.
Apparently it sounds like when you flush a toilet on an airplane. That's apparently what it sounds like.
We're expecting them to splash down in about 40 minutes, actually. And so,
not bad.
Especially after we finish the
NASCAR is in an hour.
things are really going to start to
This is perfect timing.
nose cone, and then we're going to start
Oh, you might be able to hear my washing machine. I've got washing machine going.
Communications blackout.
Oh, we have a viewer. Hello, welcome to the stream. They're just performing their deorbit burn.
Yeah, and this is a significant thing to mention. There will be a blackout period for approximately 7 minutes. And that happens when the vehicle does enter back into the Earth's atmosphere. Outside of the Dragon capsule.
You guys are going to see something go past really quickly. Ready?
And what that will do is cause a layer of plasma around the vehicle, which will prevent some comms from coming through. But once they are through that period, we should be able to regain those comms. The core here in Mission Control Hawthorne will do some comm checks to make sure that they have
I'm trying to find
comms between Dragon.
Right, so this one, I'm going to go full screen with this. Oh my god, I can just do one full screen. Okay, so we have another screen here. We have a tracker
we are part
of the Dragon capsule.
The team is
so
to splash down.
It should splash down over here
4:06 p.m. Pacific
or
time.
here.
Right now we are in the middle of our deorbit burn. So this is the final burn before the Dragon spacecraft really is on its final trajectory towards
that is so cool.
Landing site.
That is very, very cool. So, boof, and we're back to this one. Look at the software. The software on it looks really cool.
A live view inside of the Dragon capsule of the crew, watching and checking things on their display panels.
Like, it legit looks like sort of the Tesla software. Actually, saying that, it kind of looks like Windows, because they got the stuff down the bottom right hand corner, they've got stuff down the left hand corner.
And looking at our amazing
420 kilometers high, so they're committed.
That they are committed to return back to Earth.
Yes, they are. They are coming back, which is super exciting.
Is that? Okay, I was thinking my screen was going funny, but it's not actually me, I think.
So I should mention at this point,
okay.
Dragon itself is an extremely intelligent vehicle. It is largely autonomous and effectively flying itself. So it knows where it's at, its position in space. It knows where it's headed. It has the ability to adjust its attitude or angle, trajectory as needed to make sure it is headed where it needs to head. And so even through the
what I'm going to quickly do.
Period, again, due to the temporary buildup of plasma that interferes with communications, even through that period.
Oh, hello, second viewer. Welcome to the stream.
Because Dragon is smart enough to know where exactly it's going to be.
Yeah, so much so that we saw them watching some movies just a few minutes ago.
5 minutes.
You are hearing on the comms just some status updates of that deorbit burn. Again, this deorbit burn lasts about 15 minutes long, and we're getting close to completion.
Goodbye. Is that? Oh no, we've moved.
And actually, something to note: if there are people watching live from Splashdown, they might actually get to hear the sonic boom as
that'd be pretty
quickly
sick.
as Dragon re-enters the Earth's atmosphere and is coming down.
There you go.
They will be traveling faster than the speed of sound.
Stupid
so,
OBS.
You'll get a sonic boom when they come back through.
Yeah, I think that the folks that
Right, there we go. We're not going to touch it now.
To the coast, they might even be able to see Dragon. It is a daytime splashdown, which is super exciting. So yeah, in about 35 minutes, we're expecting Dragon capsule resilience flying for the second time and returning for the second time, and the Inspiration 4 crew members return back to Earth and splash down into the coast, off the coast of Florida.
Again, we just heard a call out that we're probably about 3 minutes away from that deorbit burn completing. But yeah, Andy, it's been so exciting. Just this mission overall has been so incredible. Again, the first all-civilian crew to go to orbit, and they're raising money for St. Jude. It's just been an incredible mission so far. They've been out in space, you know, talking to St. Jude's patients, raising money, doing some science experiments for us so that we can see, you know, what does microgravity do to, you know, the regular person like you and me.
13 minutes.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point that I don't think we've talked about yet, is all the science that they've done. We saw earlier in the week some experiments with some portable ultrasound devices.
Yeah, the ultrasound machines.
To study how fluid shifts and sort of the relevance of up and down in space that could potentially help contribute to motion sickness, both in space and back here on Earth. But the really cool thing, in my opinion, is all the data that they're going to gather, that's going to be put in a repository, and everyone has access to it, essentially. And so you typically don't get that with normal missions, but for Inspiration 4, I think one of the hallmarks is they wanted to make sure that they were trying to further science as much as possible and further human space exploration.
Yeah, having the access to that data available to literally the entire world only allows you to have, you know, as many people to utilize that research and you know, be able to do something with it.
Oh, 1 minute remaining. Deorbit. That was loud.
After the deorbit burn, again, we won't need the Draco thrusters in the forward bulkhead anymore, and so we will be initiating the close of the nose cone. Oh, here's a great animation. The nose cone is the very, very top. You're going to see it latch open. That's where the Draco thrusters are at, but after they're done firing, we're actually going to be closing it. And so if you're here since the beginning of this particular cast, the bottom section of the capsule, that's
the trunk,
section,
that's gone,
the bottom half of that has already been jettisoned,
and that all burn up
right now,
in the atmosphere.
Portion, the capsule, that's where the crew is in, and that is what is
hello, Richie Rich Gaming.
Off the coast of Florida,
Can't wait for tomorrow. We are watching the rocket come back. Well, the capsule come back.
Dragon, deorbit burn complete, performance nominal.
Nice. So now we should see the cupola being closed over. That's what we like to hear.
I believe that was Chris confirming that he had a nominal burn. Everything seems to be going great, and now again we've initiated the close sequence of the nose cone. So in the background, Dragon is currently inhibiting those forward bulkhead Draco thrusters that we had just used to complete the deorbit burn, ensuring that it's safe to
Rich, I have a tracker. Look how cool that looks.
The nitrox suit purge, and this will help keep the crew cool.
My wife is tagging me in loads of stuff.
In about 20 minutes.
So we got, literally, they've just passed over Australia and New Zealand.
The forward hatch for re-entry. The crew is using the screens that we saw earlier to monitor the locking of nose cone, which is done actually by a set of hooks.
Oh.
Yeah, and again, the nose cone doesn't just snap shut. It does take a few minutes, I think about 4 minutes or so, to close. It is a very, you know, technically and structurally sound seal that needs to happen there, so it needs to be very precise, which is why it's a very slow.
It does look awesome, doesn't it? So this is through the SpaceX website, and I've got it full screen at the moment. But yeah, anyone could literally follow this. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, my itchy nose.
call it was,
It's
for
'cause I've got
Crew
dust
complete.
everywhere.
Crew is effectively maneuvering.
I literally
So,
was
we had to position Dragon and orient it a certain
sanding and
way,
dusting, and
before
I've
it's
actually,
enter the Earth's atmosphere. So that looks like it's going well.
I don't know if you're going to see it,
But I mentioned a
I
little bit
painted my
about,
wall.
the temperature buildup around
So now I've got a
heat shield
nice
and Dragon.
nice
So we
wall.
initiate a nitrox purge in both the cabin and the suits to keep
I don't have it.
the environment inside Dragon nice and cool. The suits themselves will
Right,
automatically
I'm going to turn.
detect if temperatures go above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, and if it does, we'll just purge them with effectively air. It's the same sort of air that you would see in a scuba tank, and that keeps the astronauts nice
No,
and
it's not
comfortable
COVID.
for their journey back to Earth.
It's basically their own personal
It's just
AC
dust.
system. And
Lots
as we
and
mentioned,
lots of
we are coming
dust.
up on the blackout period, which is about 10 minutes or so from now, or 10 minutes after nose cone closure. And during that event, the capsule, the exterior of the capsule will get to approximately 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is
So as
pretty
Andy
sick. Let's have a
mentioned,
look where they
it's
are.
extremely important to keep the cabin cool, to keep the astronauts cool during this event. But Dragon was
Ain't
designed
no-
for this, so they
Ain't
didn't
nobody.
have any problems with 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, God.
We have some really cool material on the bottom.
Right, really quickly,
It's known as, it's actually called
just
Pika
do
3.0,
something
and
you guys
its
can't
job is
see.
basically to
Hopefully it doesn't
deflect
open up on
and,
your screen.
and
No,
take
it
on
doesn't.
all of that
Sweet.
heat and make sure that we keep the capsule and crew nice and cool again for their re-entry. If you're looking on screen right now,
So I want-
there is a capsule, Dragon capsule in the background. You can see at the very bottom,
There is.
the tiling of that Pika material. That is a returned capsule. So
Right
it's
there.
in Earth's atmosphere.
That's
it's taken on
one.
3,500 degrees Fahrenheit heat, and that's what we expect the capsule today to also look like upon re-entry.
Yeah, and this is a
Ah.
flown Dragon capsule. So while the spacecraft is in orbit, it's flying at about 17,500 miles per hour.
Right.
But as it comes back through the atmosphere, we actually don't, there's no brakes on
What am I looking for?
on Dragon aside from the heat shield.
Oh, we have a buffer. Right, let's.
And so that heat shield
There we go.
actually
It's back.
with the atmosphere helps to slow the vehicle down to about 350 miles per hour.
I'm watching Little
before
Britain now,
the drogues even deploy.
and the
Yeah, it's
big one
quite,
came on.
incredible
Of
to think
course.
about that. Orbital velocity.
What am I
again,
trying to find? I'm trying to
17,500
find
miles an
something.
hour, being slowed down to just 350 miles an hour with just atmospheric drag alone is incredible. And then from there we deploy the chutes. And so
Right.
most of the job, thank you to Earth's atmosphere for slowing down Dragon. Most of it is done by the friction up there. So we are waiting on the next event, which is we're going to be waiting on confirmation that the nose cone has
Really? I have
been
to.
closed, and then we're going to be entering that blackout portion, the communications blackout period. A few
What am I
minutes
doing?
later.
I've got a
It is
bloody
expected to last for about 7 minutes, and what I would expect.
downloading
here
stuff
is,
in the background.
we heard those Quindar tones, those beeps from crew to core and core to crew. Expect those to start to pop up again as we're coming out of that blackout period. We want to make sure that we reestablish communication with the crew.
Yeah, and actually, before we go
Ooh.
into the blackout period, we should hear some comms
That
as
scared the
well.
shit out of me.
Again, the core here in Hawthorne, Mission Control,
Next.
Hawthorne communicates with
Just
the team,
downloading something
make
cool.
Sure that they
Hopefully
know
this
what event
will
is coming up next, so that they know what
be
to
quick.
expect. And so we should be hearing some of that confirmation that they will be going into the blackout period, as well as some confirmation.
I think I kind of half broke something then. What the hell is going on? Well, because one thing is...
Again, we are currently just waiting for confirmation of nose cone closure. Once we confirm that, the next event after that will be the blackout period that we have mentioned. Again, that will last about 7 minutes.
Right.
What you're seeing on your screen right now is Mission Control Hawthorne here at SpaceX headquarters. Looks like you can see Quinn Shotwell sitting in the front row there,
Yes.
watching as our first all-civilian crew, the Inspiration 4 crew, returns back home to Earth.
Cool.
Yeah, and the recovery team and the launch team did a great job looking at weather, looking ahead, because Florida weather in fall can be tricky, but we got excellent weather during liftoff on Wednesday.
God, you can imagine
and,
what the weather's like.
Pretty darn good weather right now for splashdown as well.
Yeah, when we did get some live views of the seas there, it did look pretty calm, which is exactly what we want. We want to make sure that during recovery, you know, we have some steady seas, not just for the crew.
Dragon, nose cone is secure for entry.
We
Sounds like
hear
got
the
that
same.
confirmation of nose cone closure.
Nice.
So as we begin the second half of entry, Dragon is now beginning to flush nitrox into the cabin and continuing to top off the Inspiration 4 crew's suits with cool air. Again, this is what will allow the cabin temperature to remain comfortable, while external temperatures can reach upwards of 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, the heat shield is pointing
diggity
forward. That's
dang.
the leading structure that is going to be heading into re-entry, and that's going to be what leads the capsule to the landing site.
And again, the exterior of the capsule will get to approximately 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit, but again, Dragon was designed for this dynamic event, so
Nice.
there will be some cool air inside of the cabin. It's environmentally controlled, as well as through their suits. They do have their personal air conditioning inside of their suits, where they will get
Yes.
a flow of nitrox. And as Andy mentioned earlier, there are
That's so
sensors in
cool.
the suits, so they don't even have to think about if they're getting too hot or not. The suits will just automatically keep the environment controlled. And
Oh my
run
God.
for them.
Okay, this is a great view of the suit. First off,
Yeah, that
it's
was shit.
super slick and super
Don't do that again, then.
but it is essentially a mini spacecraft. There's an umbilical from the leg portion that will hook up to Dragon, and that will route communications and electronics, as well as, again, routing the air needed to keep the suit pressurized in case of a depressurization
Right,
event.
I can't, for some reason, spin
or if they need to
this
be
around.
merged with cool air, it can do that as well.
And some of the cool
Let's just refresh
manufacturing
that.
features, the helmet is 3D printed.
There we go.
The material of the exterior of the suit is heat resistant, as well as the gloves are designed, they're conductive, so that they're designed to be able to use them on the touch screen.
That's pretty
And
sick.
Again, they're all custom made for each of the astronauts. The chairs themselves are also custom fitted. There are a couple of different sizes, and the armrests can be adjusted for the astronauts' preference. And so, you know, we want to make sure, again, the crew is as comfortable and as safe as possible for landing. The seats will actually recline up to its landing position, and then there is a 5-point belt that will keep
Yeah,
the
it's a
astronauts in
5
place,
point
to
hell.
make sure that everything
Oh look,
is nice and
they've got
comfortable.
my. That's not me. That's them.
And we have a Dragon tracker, and that's what you're seeing on your screen. You can see.
And I can go there,
that
and that's
Dragon
my
is
one.
Currently to the west of South America there, and on their way, you can kind of see their trajectory heading towards the coast of Florida for their splashdown today.
Oh wow, yeah.
So yeah, we are expecting to enter that that blackout period in about 2 minutes here. We should hear the core communicate to the team here in a couple of minutes that we are again entering that blackout period, and then we'll reestablish communication once we're through with that.
Dragon, SpaceX for entry brief.
There we go.
Go SpaceX.
Look at
Jared,
themselves.
looking good.
I would
Delta's
love them.
timeline, vehicles nominal, tracking no
All
issues.
three
The deorbit burn is
computer
right down the middle,
monitors
with
the
nominal
same.
landing site targeting. No deltas on weather or recovery, and we're looking forward to having you home shortly.
And copy that, SpaceX. Good deorbit burns. Vehicles healthy. Recovery forces are there. Weather's looking good. See you guys soon.
Good to be back.
Nice. Is my washing machine finished? Yes, it has. That's good. 11:45. Let's put the tracker on for a little
We
bit.
heard some awesome calls from the core. The deorbit burn looked good. Re-entry and weather all looked good. So everything you would want to hear for splashdown, we got it. And so things are looking great for splashdown in about 20 minutes here. Super exciting, and things will start to get very, very dynamic, and a lot of events will happen over the next 20 minutes or so.
It's gonna be
At this
mental.
point, we are entering here shortly a communications blackout period, which lasts approximately 7 minutes due to plasma formation around the spacecraft. During this time, no vehicle telemetry is received by mission control or the recovery team, and no external commanding of the vehicle or voice communication is possible. As a reminder, though, Dragon is designed to fly itself and continues to autonomously.
Yeah, no one's ever been able to communicate through the plasma.
Itself and continues to autonomously use its Draco thrusters to orient itself during re-entry. So during re-entry, the vehicle will be slowing down from orbital velocity, which is approximately 17,500 miles an hour, all the way down to about 350 to 400 miles an hour before we deploy those chutes.
That is mad.
We did hear a call out of 200 kilometers. That is basically telling us that the Dragon capsule is getting closer and closer to Earth. Again, they
getting
went
close.
all the way out to orbit at about 575 kilometers from Earth. I think the furthest they went
can't even
was
see.
590 kilometers.
I'm pointing at my
But
screen.
now they're on their way back home, so they're approximately 200 kilometers at this moment.
Wow. That's mad.
And again, today we are bringing the crew back home. We've begun several operations during this deorbit sequence, but actually deorbit and return home began yesterday. We did have a couple phase burns yesterday that brought the vehicle down to approximately 360.
So instead of going
and now we're getting closer and closer
around
bringing
like
the crew back
this,
home. It's getting really exciting over here.
they went around like
Can't
this.
wait to see them back
Hey,
on
dude.
Earth after their trip to orbit.
So yeah. Oh, they literally just about to show it. There you go. So this is how they did it.
Earlier today, we saw, we didn't see, but we got confirmation of the trunk jettison.
Chunk.
We completed our deorbit burn successfully, and right now, Dragon is
Oh, this looks mad.
going through its re-entry phase and through its blackout communications portion. And shortly here, we're going to have splashdown after our parachutes deploy.
Oh, it's gonna be mental.
And, you know, I can't believe this mission has come and gone so quickly.
It has, yeah.
Again, super busy.
It feels
and
like I only just live streamed the launch
all our
like
viewers that,
yesterday.
This inspiration for mission, this inspiration for crew, it's all for a great cause. We want to make sure that we further human space exploration. We
Yeah,
do a ton
making
of
it
science,
cheaper every
and we wanna
time.
fundraise for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. The goal is $200 million. Jared Isaacman donated $100 million himself, and we're a little over halfway through the other $100 million that we want to fundraise. So
I put a
if you're
$5
watching
in.
on YouTube,
That's all
if
I
you
can
have a
do at the
computer
moment.
nearby, you can go to inspiration4.com/donate.
I have a baby now. I can't afford to get spending loads of money.
Dragon, SpaceX, please verify crew entry preparations complete with tablets, restraints, visors, and feet.
It's like aeroplane checklist.
And copy that, SpaceX. We were just waiting a little bit longer, but we'll do it right now.
Come on.
SpaceX Dragon and tablets are secure. Restraints are tightened. Visors are down. We are ready to come home.
We
Nice.
copy all, Dragon. Approximately 4 minutes, 30 seconds until comm blackout. We'll see you on the other side at 2300.
2300. Is that what the
Copy
time?
at 2300.
2300. Oh, okay, so they use
Just under 5
UTC
minutes
time,
away
didn't they?
from
When they're
that
in
blackout
space.
Period. So what you're seeing on your screen is the core, the crew operations and resources engineer communicating with the crew on board Dragon, preparing for re-entry back into the Earth's atmosphere. So they're closing their visors, they're making sure that their 5-point harnesses are secure, basically doing all their preparations for that re-entry.
Yeah. So they've got like a proper car, like racing car harness. What you would normally find, what I think they're in banger
And
racers
again, if you're
generally.
just now joining us, you are tuned into the Inspiration 4 mission. This is the first all-civilian crew out to orbit, and now they've been out there for about 3 days, and now making their way back.
Making my
and
way
the crew on board
downtown.
is Jared Isaacman, who's the commander for the mission. He is the 38-year-old CEO of Ship 4 Payments. He has been a fighter pilot for many, many years. He's flown in over 100 air shows.
100
and
air
always
shows,
does
damn.
A fundraiser or a charity event with every one of his air shows, and he's doing the same thing with this mission, which is pretty incredible.
That's pretty crazy.
Up next, we have
Look at her.
Snow. She's 29 years old, and she is actually the youngest American to fly in space ever. She's also the first.
Yeah.
From Steelers bias attitude.
Continuing to get great calls. Haley is also the first in space with a prosthetic. She is a pediatric cancer survivor and also a
She
physician
works
assistant
at St.
Jude
Yeah.
Children's Research Hospital. Same
That was
place she saved her
mad.
life when she was 10 years old.
Imagine you've saved your
Got
life
Dr.
at
Cyan Proctor on board, making her way back home with the crew.
making my
She
way
is the
downtown. I
51-year-old
can't get that out of my head now.
pilot, for this mission. She's from Tempe, Arizona, and she holds the seat of prosperity. She actually was awarded this
2
seat
minutes to
for.
expected comm blackout.
We got a 2-minute call out for that expected blackout period. But Dr. Cyan Proctor actually was awarded the seat for starting her own, basically business
Yeah.
for her artwork and her poetry. But she's
That's pretty
also
cool.
an incredible human being. She's an analog astronaut. She's always wanted to go to space. Almost became a NASA astronaut at one
Slow
point.
to initial entry attitude complete.
Nice.
And now
And then
she's
Chris.
on the crew and was able to accomplish her dream.
And last but certainly not least is Chris Dombrowski. He's 42. He's a data engineer at Lockheed Martin and a United States Air Force veteran, a space enthusiast through and through. And I was watching the docuseries, and he's just
He does seem like a real nice guy.
Those were our 4 crew members that are currently making their way back home, back down to Earth, and as part of the Inspiration 4 mission.
I'm so excited to see them come back home, and I can't wait to hear their stories from being out in space again.
Yeah, it's gonna make one hell of a story.
They're not professional astronauts. I can't wait to hear their stories coming back from that.
Yeah, it looks like they've had a really fun time. I was watching the interview with the St. Jude children yesterday, and they were throwing M&Ms all over the capsule.
Thermodynamic acceleration.
And with the microgravity just darting them down and trying to chase them down. So they're obviously very, very good friends, and work very, very well together.
You'd
We
have to
are
be.
entering this blackout
100
period.
kilometer altitude.
Wow, they've lost 100 kilometers in what?
We are
3
entering
minutes?
This blackout period that we have mentioned. Again, it is an expected period of time where the vehicle is
Alright,
re-entering
we'll put
back
this one
into
on.
the Earth's atmosphere. That generates a lot of heat, about up to 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit, which causes a plasma layer to form around the vehicle. So we do lose
Bloody
comms with the
mental.
crew.
Absolute
They've already
mental.
done their pre-blackout period operations, making sure that their visors are closed, they're strapped in, and they're ready to re-enter back
So this will
into
be
the
where
Earth's
they start
atmosphere.
feeling the shaking.
And so we do expect to regain comms about 7 minutes.
So I
after
wonder
they've
if you
entered
were
the
in,
blackout period.
let's say, Mexico, like, you could probably see
So the view on your left is Mission Control in Hawthorne.
this
SpaceX
coming
headquarters.
down.
You can see
Actually,
that
no, it's
we've
daytime,
got
isn't it?
Some folks gathering.
I don't know, you
very excited
might be able
and
to.
rushing
I
forward to return back to Earth.
I wouldn't know.
So
I
yeah,
might have to
we're all
ask a
waiting.
few Twitter
We're
people that.
actually, about 20-25 minutes away from splashdown off the coast of Florida. Again, Dragon, even throughout this blackout period, it can pilot itself essentially. So again, the crew just needs to make sure that you know they're strapped in and enjoy the flight, because Dragon will take them to where they need to be.
Literally, give
Yeah,
it 10 minutes
exactly. And,
before
as
I was doing
mentioned
this live stream.
earlier, you
I was
know, they
almost
don't really
asleep on the
have to do anything
sofa.
aside from follow along with each event that is happening. So we did catch them earlier watching some movies on their flight back home. But yeah, they really don't need to do much, as Dragon is autonomous.
Yes. So after we splash down, for those that are maybe watching for the first time or wondering, well, how does Dragon get out of the water? So
Big
Dragon
boats.
itself is,
Very big
designed to
boats.
be waterproof.
Nominal entry.
80 kilometer altitude.
There we go.
Com. Start of blackout period.
So this is it. Now we have no idea.
We just heard the
Anticipated
calls.
acquisition of signal in 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
So no one now knows where it is. It's completely
Just heard the call that
unheard
Dragon is
of from
80 kilometers
people
in
on
altitude.
Earth.
We're entering that communications blackout period now, and we just got an update that it's expected to last about 4.5 minutes. So again, we'll reestablish communications with the crew after this blackout period, but we are entering the atmosphere at a very, very, very high velocity. And
Very
we
high.
start to get a lot of friction from the atmosphere and the space capsule. We start to form that plasma, and plasma tends to interfere with communication. So it's a temporary
Tends to, it
communications
always
blackout.
does.
And again, we're gonna be able to reconnect with them in about 4 minutes here.
And during this time, no vehicle telemetry is received by Mission Control
Yeah.
or the recovery team.
No
There's no
communication.
external commanding of the vehicle or voice communication. That is not possible at this time. So as a reminder, Dragon is designed to fly itself and continues to fly autonomously using Draco thrusters to orient itself during this re-entry.
Yeah, it's mad. This is literally where
During this re-entry,
it goes
the
all
vehicle
quiet.
will be slowing down the orbital velocity from 17,500 miles per hour.
Moonrise?
And the use
What?
of just the atmosphere will bring the vehicle down to about 350 miles per hour before we even deploy the drogue chutes.
Yeah, a few minutes after we get communications
Oh, that's
again, we are
cool.
expecting to deploy the sets of parachutes. We have 2 sets. The first, again, are drogue chutes. There's 2 of them. Their job is to slow the vehicle down from about 350 miles an hour to about 120 miles an hour, and those deploy at around 18,000 feet. Shortly after that, we'll deploy our main parachutes. There's 4 of them. Those are larger, circular, orange and white chutes, and their job is to slow the vehicle down from 120 miles an hour to about 15 miles an hour, and then we'll make splashdown off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, guys, in the comments, if you could only have 2 toppings on a pizza, what would it be?
So yeah, Dragon is again,
Oh,
flying itself.
So you get,
each
like,
of the
normal
chutes
cheese
that
and
I just
tomato
mentioned
base,
about,
but you get
there's
2
sensors
extra toppings on top.
on Dragon that
What
detect
would you guys
altitude and
have?
pressure, and they will determine
Ooh,
when
I don't know
to
what I
fire
would have.
those, parachutes. And so pretty much everything on Dragon is autonomous, and again, it's steering itself. It's taking the inspiration for a crew where they need to go for their targeted splashdown.
Again, if you're just now joining us, we're currently in progress of the blackout period. What this is basically the Dragon spacecraft re-entering the Earth's atmosphere. It'll see temperatures, external temperatures of about 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit, building a plasma layer around the vehicle, preventing comms and communication with the Dragon spacecraft. It's expected to last about 4.5 minutes. We're a little over halfway through that right now, so we should, in a couple minutes here, start hearing some comms from the core, checking in to regain that communication with Dragon.
Oh. They got a signal, and oh wow. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Is a view from our thermal camera, seeing Dragon coming back down to Earth right there.
Yeah, this is amazing. This is the first shot of the Dragon capsule coming back.
Wow.
Inspiration for mission. The crowd here is super excited seeing that for the first time as well. So yeah, a couple minutes left of the blackout period.
Oh, I saw a plane.
And, we should be getting
You see the plane?
established with the crew here shortly.
See, now all the CGI fakers, that was real. A plane really, they did go, you know, a plane did go like that. So they've at least found it. So if I put on the tracker, look, they are directly just over, they've just gone over Florida. So now, if I move that, oh, I've got to reload the whole bloody web page.
What you're seeing on your screen right now is on the left-hand side, that is Mission Control Hawthorne.
Dragon, GPS converged. Expect nominal altitude for drogue to deploy.
Nice. That is very low res.
SpaceX, we shall see.
Wow.
And those comms
Look how
confirm
hot
we
that
have
is.
Regained comms with Dragon, and they're getting ready for drogue deploy here shortly.
Yeah, I love these tracking shots.
They are
Again,
very
this Dragon
cool.
In the center of your screen, we've got visuals of it, and we're expecting drogue shoots to deploy, and then the main shoots shortly after that here in a couple of minutes.
Come on. Switch to the other one. There it is. See, the thermal camera picks up straight away. It is hot. So I think the left hand's...
Again, a lot of excitement for Inspiration 4 crews.
Yeah.
Waiting on drogue shoot deploy. That happens at about 18,000 feet.
Dragon, brace for drogue window.
So they should hear like a boof.
SpaceX, we're bracing.
Yep. Brace. And they should hear like a poof, and it's like a small explosion. Shoots out the...
Re-entry, the team's
drogue.
experiencing about 3 to 5 Gs.
Oh. I've done 4.5 for like
Heard some
2
words
seconds.
To have them brace for a drogue deploy. They will feel the difference in speed when the shoots do deploy. That was what the core mentioned
Yeah.
there. That's such a cool shot of Dragon.
That is a
coming
very
back
cool.
down to Earth. It looks very fast in this camera view here.
Yeah, it does. It's mental. Oh, there you go. Nice, there you go. You see the little panel blow out. That is cool. And there you go. Now we have video from the actual capture on the left-hand side. So the little tiny ones, they slowly open, and they just sort of slowly reduces speed, and then it pulls out the big ones. So there
A
should
lot of
be
communication going back and forth between the
3 big
crew,
ones, I
and
think.
ground station, but the drone's job is to slow the vehicle down from about
Yeah.
350 miles an hour to 120. We are expecting the main chutes for these to cut off and the main chutes to come shortly after this.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
Dragon, these are 4 happy mains.
Oh, 4 of them. Okay, 4. And then they slowly open as well.
You have visual from the Toady forces.
That is so cool. One day I will do this. One day.
And at 4:04 p.m. Pacific time, we do have
Yep.
confirmation that the main chutes have deployed, and you can see that on your left-hand screen of the camera, looking
That
forward
is sick.
above the Dragon capsule, looking at those 4 main chutes.
1,000.
Copy, 1,000.
1,000 feet.
The next event coming up now is a visual confirmation of splashdown. You can see the Dragon capsule on your right-hand screen.
That's
Slowly coming
mad.
down now. We've talked about how fast the vehicle has been traveling, but they will be touching down approximately 15 miles per hour when they touch the
That's not bad, actually.
Atlantic Ocean there.
800 SpaceX.
We copy 800.
Now, the Dragon 1 program had great success with the water landing, with 20
Yeah.
successful splashdowns over the course of that program, 9 of which were carried out by flight-proven Dragon spacecraft.
This is mental. Like,
And this is a great shot, Dragon.
if they
Even
recover
to send
this,
back towards Earth
it just
and
proves
targeting a
that
landing,
they can do
excuse me,
anything.
a splashdown off the coast of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean.
Copy 600.
600 meters, so they are going slow now. It is slowly descending. That is so cool. Parachute almost looked like it was collapsing.
400.
That is sick.
Copy 400.
Oh, we can see some lighter clouds. Ready. We should see it hit the water as well with this tracking camera.
200. We're bracing.
Yep.
We copy 200.
Brace, brace, brace. We're on an aeroplane now. Come on. Come on, hit that water. I swear there's a little blue bit here. No. It looks like there's a bit of red. Looks like a little fire, almost. Or is that just like some red? Okay, well obviously they've got confirmation. There it is. Bang! Nice one. And look at the boats going over. Mate, that...
Operation 4, on behalf of SpaceX, welcome home to planet Earth. The
Yes!
world that space is for all of us, and that everyday people can make extraordinary impacts in the world around them. Thank you for sharing your leadership, hope, generosity, and prosperity.
Nice!
On your incredible journey.
They done.
SpaceX was a heck of a ride for us. Just getting started.
Copy, just getting started.
God, like, imagine that. Like, I don't like boats swaying back and forth, but like that is rocking.
Welcome back. Inspiration 4, the Dragon Resilience capsule has returned. The crew has returned. What a phenomenal visual that we got.
That is cool.
And I love that Jared said, we're just getting started.
Right. This is the
Yeah, there's so
beginning,
many more
of their
now.
Journey, of the
Tom
next
Cruise
steps
next
for this
year.
era in human space flight.
Is it
And
October
just,
next
you know,
year?
what an incredible mission. What an amazing
It's mental.
view watching them touch down and splash down.
So
into
they are
the
now
Atlantic
picking up
Ocean.
the
You hear crowd
parachutes.
here. So excited to welcome the crew back home.
Yes. So we do have a couple of events that need to happen first before we can start to get the crew out of the capsule. So you can see some boats headed towards Dragon, and you know, the first job is to make sure
that's
that
really.
the area around Dragon is safe to approach, and then we'll go in there, start rigging the Dragon up to be able to hoist later on onto our main recovery.
And they got a bit of choppy weather there.
So we also heard that Jared had given us the confirmation of stable 1. What that means is Dragon has splashdown and is upright. There's also stable 2. Dragon can actually be upside down or sideways. It is waterproof and has systems where it can pump seawater into some bladders to help keep it upright. So again, stable 1 is
I actually
the
didn't
best
know that.
possible scenario that we can achieve, and that's what we see on screen right now.
Yeah, and just something to note, there are going to be a few operations that happen before the crew can get out of the capsule.
Yeah.
So they will be strapped into their seats, remain strapped into their seats throughout these operations until basically until hatch open. Once we have the Dragon capsule on
And then
board
they
the
help them
recovery vessel.
out the
We
capsule
do
onto
have
the
some
boat.
events, coming up next. The fast boats will be approaching the Dragon capsule. They'll be doing some inspections to make sure that it is safe.
Yeah, they
before
have
we begin
like
operations,
this.
to lift Dragon out of the water onto the recovery vessel.
Dragon, SpaceX's go for recovery personnel to approach. Expect personnel alongside in 1 minute.
What is it? There's something they do around the capsule to make sure that there's like no bad gases around. It still looks like there's like a tiny fire. It must be a light or something like that.
Come aboard via display cam.
Permission granted. Come aboard, SpaceX.
Oh, so that's the video link thing. So they have a video link, but SpaceX have to ask permission for them to view the inside of the capsule, basically. Sort of like a privacy thing, you know, it's like kind of like knocking. Or when you go to like certain hotels, they'll ring you up and say, oh, can we come up and bring you dinner or whatever.
What you're seeing on your screen is the recovery team approaching Dragon. Again, they will be starting to do some inspections. We'll do some
sick.
ordnance and hypergol checks just to make sure that the vehicle is safe before they begin rigging Dragon to bring the vehicle onto the recovery vessel.
That's mad.
And I think on the left-hand screen that is someone on a jet ski helping to pull some of those chutes out of the water. They did automatically detach from Dragon once the vehicle splashed down. So now they are removing them from the water.
Yeah, it is super important that we cut those main parachutes. We don't want any type of wind or even the water to pull or drag the Dragon capsule. But when we did see Dragon splash down, we also saw really good visuals of the mains being cut as well. There is boat and personnel that are going to go out there and collect those chutes as part of the recovery operation. We are expecting about an hour from splashdown until we can get the crew outside of the capsule. Again, we're going through a series of safety checks and some other operations.
An hour?
Dragon
Jeez!
and lift it up onto the main recovery vessel before we can open
Okay.
the side hatch and get the crew out.
I'm just gonna casually get NASCAR up on the other screen, because that's in like half hour.
Here at Hawthorne, but as soon as we made contact with the water, excitement erupted, and it was just.
Oh yeah, you would.
Again, this is the Inspiration 4 crew, the first all-civilian mission to orbit with 4 incredible crew on
That's
board.
mad.
We now have an inside view on Dragon
Yay.
as they are sitting on the ocean water, awaiting for the recovery operations. Looks like we got a selfie.
I think Dr. Cyan is taking some
Oh yes.
splashdown
Yeah.
pictures.
Hashtag just splash down. Sneak peek to the left hand side while I'm watching.
We do have
There you go, that's all you're getting, that's NASCAR.
climbing on board Dragon. They're performing some inspections, just making sure that the vehicle is safe prior to the next step.
Dragon SpaceX. Hypergol sweeps and ordnance checks are nominal. Rigging is in progress. Approximately 2
Nice.
minutes until capsule lift. Stand by for PMC.
It's not bad.
Excitement from the crew on board, and if you noticed the difference in view, the camera actually has not moved, but the seats.
Yeah, seats are
from what
now
you've seen previously
reclined.
Of this view, the astronauts are actually rotated a little bit more forward, and that is for these return operations instead of the reclined back position. So that's why.
That's it. Yeah,
the
they've
view
gone
looks a little bit different.
forward like that.
On the right-hand side, we do see the rigger climbing up on the Dragon capsule to attach some hardware, so that way Dragon can be lifted and hoisted out of the water using our main recovery ship, Ghost Searcher, which will be approaching the vehicle in a few minutes here. So that hardware is important, and that's how we get Dragon out. We hoist it and we actually put it on what's called a nest, and then we'll perform some more checkouts, make sure everything is good before we open up that side hatch.
Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure it's something like they check the gases around the capsule, so there's no harsh
One of the
gases.
techs climbing on board crew is the Dragon capsule's exterior. They do train for this event. They do go through a lot of training to make sure that they are qualified to perform these operations.
Oh, see, yeah, they're not just untrained riggers. Okay, I need to stop playing with that. Oh. Man, I would love that job. I'd love any of them jobs. Oh, Mr. Musk has just
Dragon
tweeted.
SpaceX with the public.
Just now joining us, you are tuned into the Inspiration 4 mission. The all-civilian crew has now returned back to Earth. What you're seeing on your right-hand screen are recovery operations currently in progress. The crew has already done their safety check to make sure that the vehicle was okay to approach, and now they have begun some rigging operations. They're installing some of the rigging hardware that they need to be able to lift the capsule out of the water onto the recovery vessel. And on your left-hand screen is the live view inside of Dragon of the crew. And it's just been such an incredible mission so far. Like, they lifted off on Wednesday, expected to be in space for about 3 days. They were able to perform some science experiments. They were able to do some charity events, talk to, again, this mission was all for a fundraiser for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, so they got to talk to St. Jude patients live while in space and doing backflips.
Yeah, and to think that this crew really formed about 6 months ago, and we cannot stress that this is the first all-civilian crew. Their day job is not being an astronaut. They were trained in the same simulations and same manuals that previous Dragon crew members were trained in, and they got together, threw together this amazing mission. Again, providing fundraising capabilities for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. They gave us a live on-orbit event yesterday. They spent a couple of days in space, did some art, did some photography, did some somersaults, and now they're back on Earth. And in a few minutes here, they're gonna take a fresh breath of fresh air from breath of Earth air for the first time in about 3 days. It's very, very exciting.
Oh, real.
Yeah, I cannot
Jokey
wait
throat.
To hear the
All that bloody
stories that
dust.
they have to tell us. We did get some of those live events, but they were out there for 3 days. That's quite a bit of time being out in microgravity in a spacecraft.
That's
So
mental.
I'm really excited to hear what their experiences are really like. With the NASA.
Let me put my phone on charge.
We typically get to hear, some of their thoughts of the Dragon spacecraft. Would love to hear more from, just a all civilian crew this time around, not professional astronauts.
Not professional astronauts. Yeah, it's my wife.
It's as we
Hello,
see the
madam.
sun setting on the right-hand side.
You right?
The boats are equipped with
Yeah, good. They just
very
splashed
strong
down.
lights, to make sure that they
So we
can
now
continue
got
the
to wait for them to be
operation in
pulled to
case
the
sun
boat
does go
and
down.
released.
But one thing I do want to reiterate
And I'm
is
watching NASCAR
weather
on the
and
screen.
how great that's been for us. We had a
You're right,
phenomenal
tired.
day in terms of
Am I being
weather
loud?
Wednesday during ascent.
Cool.
And on return, you can look at the ocean now, and it's not choppy. There's no waves, essentially. It's basically like pool water, and so the Dragon capsule is there.
No, I
it's
didn't see your
floating there
Facebook.
now, because it's not,
Oh,
choppy.
yeah, I did.
The
Yeah, I did.
coverage
Yeah.
get in there, do their job
Yeah, a
well,
year
without
ago
any
today,
other,
we got Lola.
external factors.
Yeah, that's
Lola.
extremely important. Safety is number one here at SpaceX, so we always want to make sure
Lola, come here.
that we're keeping these
She's
events
obviously been
during,
asleep.
an
Lola,
environment
come
that's safe, and weather plays a very big factor in that.
Come on, don't get
And
shy
not only
now.
the crew
Come
on
on.
board Dragon, but the recovery
Here we go. We're
team
gonna
there,
show you off to the light.
climbing on Dragon, installing the rigging.
Ah, this little
there are
doggy here.
boats, so
We-
it's really important to make sure that the
She's
weather
back.
conditions are accommodating.
Lola,
to
say
these
hello.
operations.
So we got this little doggy a year ago today, and she has no idea. She probably doesn't even remember the farm.
Yeah, so we are
See you
expecting
later.
the team to finish.
She's looking at her mum
install
like,
all of
Mum,
the
what's he
equipment
doing?
needed to lift Dragon
Here we
out of the
go.
water, in a
She
few
was a
minutes,
tiny,
and,
tiny puppy.
We should see
I'm not that
another
tiny,
boat
but
approach
you know
the,
what I mean.
Dragon capsule.
Leave me alone, it's too early.
Where, we essentially hook it up to
Right,
a
you
crane
gonna
on
go
the
with
back of the
mummy?
boat, lift it up out of the water,
Go on then,
and
good girl.
onto the recovery vessel.
Dog it all over me now. But yeah, so yeah, a year ago today we got the dog. We were in. We just come out of lockdown, didn't we?
We went out of lockdown. We had some restrictions.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, we had some restrictions, wasn't it? It was the tier system, wasn't it?
Daytime shots, it would look
Yeah.
essentially like a marshmallow.
It was mad.
Again, when it's re-entering the Earth,
But no, we're doing good.
it can get quite hot on the exterior, and the Pika material is doing its job and absorbing the brunt.
Yeah,
of that.
throw some water on it, get it to cool down.
But there's a side hatch. I mean, that's where the
Oh
crew's gonna
God, Lola's
egress
got
out
a
of.
ball.
That side hatch was
Lola?
sealed 3 days
No,
ago.
not in here.
It
Go in the
has no
bedroom.
consents. And so,
Go into the bedroom.
Typically,
Go into the
missions,
bedroom.
with crew go to the International Space Station. The crew will ingress and egress out
Dog
of the
does
top
not
hatch
like
that
me.
you see there, but because we weren't going to the International Space Station for this
I
mission,
actually need to
we
ask
installed
my
that
wife something.
super cool cupola, and
I'm trying to
that
find
hatch is gonna
something,
stay closed, but the team
and
will
I
be
don't know
exiting
where
out
it
of the
is.
side hatch in a few minutes here.
No, it's not on there. I don't know where it is. Well, we have 14 minutes until NASCAR starts. Good girl, Lola. I bet they must feel like the rocking of the boat. The capsule.
Right now we're currently performing recovery operations.
You need to brighten that right-hand
There,
image.
on one of the fast boats, installing rigging onto the Dragon capsule.
Man,
will help
in
them lift
just
the
under,
Dragon capsule onto the
well,
recovery
just
vessel.
over 12 hours from now,
What we
my
call
little
the
daughter will be getting
Dragon
christened.
nest on board.
Chantal,
We'll
12
reorient
hours from now, my
locate
daughter will be
the,
getting christened.
vehicle, on the recovery ship in a
Mad.
position where we can open the hatch
12 hours.
and then have the crew
Not that long, is
step
it?
out for the first time since
12 hours.
Wednesday. And
Come on, go to bed.
when they open the hatch, we will have
I'm
a
gonna watch a
medical
little bit of
officer check on
NASCAR
them
when I come to
first.
bed.
It's pretty standard
I'm gonna watch
procedure
much.
to make sure
Why
you
do
know, they have been out of space for 3 days.
What?
So we do want to make sure
It probably had like a little bit of
being there,
battery
helping them,
left.
every bit of the way to make sure
It'll do that, it'll keep
okay,
doing it.
as they walk
Oh, you've been
through
watching the
medical
scary movies now, so you start hearing bangs on the walls and seeing funny ghosts and stuff like that on the cameras. No, my darling.
Now on your screen on the left-hand side is a live view inside of Dragon. View from the behind the displays. On your left-hand side there, that is Commander Jared Isaacman.
Right, I'm going to be back in a second, guys. I'm just going to pop to the
is
toilet.
Dr. Cyan Proctor, who was the pilot for this mission. Now back down on Earth. What an amazing homecoming day for this crew. Such an exciting mission.
So after landing, to recap the events, it took about 10 minutes for the recovery crew to complete their safety checks, and then once they completed that, the team began to prepare Dragon to be lifted onto the recovery vessel. As part of the preparation for this lift, one member of the recovery team that we saw on screen climbed on top of the capsule, so that way they can attach Dragon's hoist rings and connect the lifting lines. Again, we are estimating about an hour after splashdown until we are able to raise Dragon up and out of the water onto the recovery boat and remove the crew from the spacecraft. And then, Jesse just mentioned, after medical checkouts, the crew will return to the Cape by helicopter and be rejoined by their friends and family.
When are you doing that? Lee? When are you doing that?
Huh?
When are you doing that?
Oh. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just want to check, see if it would work. Right, so which one's the shorter end? This one. Oh. That'll work. All I have to do is drill one little hole, or oh no, I could, no, that would work perfect. That would work perfect. So all I do is I just swap these ones for these, but I'm only going to have 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Inspiration
We're
4
only going to have
crew,
4.
first all-civilian crew
Or
to
about 1,
orbit
2,
is
3,
now
4, 5,
back
6.
down on Earth.
But that's fine, I can just spread
And
them out.
currently
They
in
should hold
progress
weight.
of the recovery
Evenly.
operations. They're currently out
Cool, I
in
can
the
use them,
Atlantic
that's good.
Ocean, as the
There you
team
go.
is rigging up the capsule
Love you too.
to get it ready to
Yay.
be lifted onto the recovery vessel. And what you're seeing on your left-hand screen is a live view of the crew inside of the vehicle at the moment.
Yeah, we splashed down just a few minutes after 4 p.m.
Right,
Pacific
I am
time.
back. Hello
We
everyone.
also had great visuals of
Obviously you
Dragon
heard me and what
spacecraft returning back
I was
to Earth.
doing,
We
but
saw some really great shots
pardon me.
from the Dragon vehicle looking upwards to the drogue chutes and the main parachutes. And then we, had a nice soft water landing in the Atlantic Ocean, and again, we're waiting for the rigging equipment to be installed. That way we can get the vehicle out of the water and then the crew out of the Dragon Resilience capsule.
Rigging is complete. Approximately 5 minutes until capsule lift.
nice. What?
In-flight entertainment.
Still need a new
Good job,
hairbrush.
in-flight entertainment.
Okay.
Hope it's
The crew is having a great time with in-flight entertainment. So yeah, it looks
That's
like
kinda
they're all in
funny.
great spirits.
They're
Whether
playing with their
really cool
in-flight
shot on the right
entertainment.
side of the screen, that is
The guy
back
was
of
watching
Ghost
something
Searcher,
on
the main recovery vessel.
on the
Dragon
tablet,
is in
which
the
is
background, as
on
well
his
as other
spacesuit. He's
supporting
got a
recovery
tablet
ships as well.
literally attached to his leg for on the flight up and flight down. It's
Again,
like
pretty
they can basically do their
incredible,
checklist.
to
It's
see
mad.
where we are today with this mission. First all-civilian crew, and ironically, it's so much like they just went and flew on an airplane.
Yeah.
They're watching
Literally a
movies,
3-day
planning
trip on an
to,
airplane, and now they've just
you
landed.
know, deboard the spacecraft.
Oh, okay. I'm watching NASCAR on my left-hand screen, and I saw those cars racing, and I'm like, it's not meant to start for another like 10 minutes, and it's flashbacks from the others. Oh man, it would have been so cool if like NASCAR was at Daytona today, because you would have. Oh, it was overcast, but
Again, this mission is
you might
a
have been able to
fundraiser
see
for
it,
St. Jude
or at least
Children's
hear
Research Hospital.
the sonic
We've
boom.
got some great news that we've raised up to $157 million.
So they've managed to raise 57 million,
How incredible to
basically,
do such a,
because
inspiring
Jared did his
mission like
own
this, as
100
well
million.
as raise $157 million for such an amazing cause.
Yeah, so in the last 90 minutes, essentially, we raised $4 million. Keep it up, everyone. Thank you
Wow.
so much. Again, it's going to a great cause.
Fair
and
play.
It's benefiting a lot of wonderful people.
That is cool.
Again, currently in progress are recovery operations. So far, they've already inspected the capsule for safety before installing some rigging hardware. We got some comms that they will be ready for.
Mate, I would love to have that job.
That rigging is.
That job just seems so
rigging
cool.
setup is complete, and they will be lifting the vehicle in a few minutes here. Again, this is Ghost Searcher, and what you're seeing on the right-hand screen at the end of Ghost Searcher is the Dragon Nest. It's
It's so
basically
cool.
the nest or stand that Dragon will be lifted onto and set into.
I almost finished this whole bottle. It's taken me a whole day to drink, what is it, a 900 milliliter bottle.
We also heard some comms that the crew is in good spirits, watching some entertainment while they wait to.
It's mad.
While they wait to be lifted onto Ghost Searcher and for hatch opening so that they can egress the vehicle.
Yeah, they've been busy doing a lot of work for a lot of great causes.
So,
now
is the
that they're
Dragon
back on
capsule
land, we
floating
wanna give them,
towards
if it's a
it?
smooth experience, they can just sit back,
Or
relax. We'll take care of everything else.
is the boat moving towards the
See
capsule?
that the gap between the Ghost Searcher boat and Dragon is starting to close. We are expecting to
No,
hoist
it's
the Dragon
going.
out of the water and again put it on.
When I look
the
at the
nest that you
waves
see on the
above
bottom,
me,
middle of your
it
screen
looks like
in a few minutes here.
And weather has been
the capsule's
just
coming closer to
great for us today. Actually, through this whole
the.
mission,
Oh, he's pulling it
this
in.
is such a
Go on the
unique
left. It's
mission
pulling.
where we did have to
Mate, I would love
ensure
that job.
weather upon
That
liftoff
job would
as
be
well as
awesome.
returns
You'd be like
would be well.
Dragon.
And not just the weather in the
Oh,
atmosphere, but the,
oh, we
the
got
water
frozen.
where we are landing, and you can see on your screen that it's very calm. This makes it really a lot.
Yeah, we
easier
can't
for
see
the
anything,
crew
it's
to
frozen.
perform the recovery
Oh, there you go.
operations. Just great weather all around.
Is it just
for
the
this mission.
one guy? Oh no, both of the guys on the sides, they're pulling the capsule towards the boat. That is pretty sick. Taking a sweet time about it. Come on, boys, just, you know, wrap it in. You can say they've got the best bit of fishing ever.
So we just saw the crew tossing a line to the other member of the recovery.
And he'll hook it
crew
onto the
on
top, which will
Dragon
lift it up.
capsule, itself. And so this last bit of distance, we want to make sure that it is nice and controlled for the Dragon vehicle to come on in and make its way up the recovery vessel.
For safety purposes, the crew does remain strapped into their seats throughout this entire process, as they are going to be lifted onto the boat. And again, they will have the first person to check on them when the hatch opens will be a medical officer to ensure that they are safe and healthy before they start egressing the vehicle, and that'll be when they will be allowed to get out of their seats.
So they're actually be allowed to get out of the seas once they're on the boat. Oh, look at him climb up. Mate, they are living the dream.
We've got a crew member on the Dragon capsule at the moment, and again, they are helping with the rigging and hoisting process to lift that Dragon capsule onto the recovery vessel. And again, they have done several hours of training for this particular role. So they are professionals.
They're making it sound worse than it needs to be done. Hey! Mate, he just like absolute swan dive off the side.
You heard some comms. They are getting ready to lift the Dragon capsule. You saw the last recovery crew member hop off of the Dragon capsule into the water and onto the fast boat
Hop off,
there
he
as they
yeeted
clear the
himself
way
off.
for lifting the Dragon capsule.
Nice, here we go. And it should hit the little balloon thingy just here. Or they're going to raise out the water before it hits that. God, look at the state of that.
Dragon out of the water.
There it is. Oh! Oh, swinging all around. Oh, I can feel it. That is sick. The hell was that?
Incredible. The Dragon is being lifted onto the recovery vessel into the Dragon nest. That is what you see them setting the vehicle down on right there.
Wonder if they caught any fish in that little pocket
At the
of
very
water.
bottom of Dragon, some water coming out. Again, that's the ballast system that helps keep Dragon upright in the seawater or in the ocean. So it's functioning as designed, and Dragon is now on the recovery vessel.
Dragon's almost
Nice.
a little bit of a mix of a rocket, spacecraft, and a little bit of a boat.
It does everything you need it to.
Yeah,
As long as it's not a submarine, that's okay.
Welcome aboard the recovery vessel. Recovery personnel are completing final checks. Stand by for translation to egress platform in approximately 1 minute.
See, that then shows you the scale of how big it is.
Good to be aboard.
Like, it's got to be about the size of my room that I'm in right
I see
now.
some fist pumps from Dr. Cyan as aboard the Dragon capsule right now. Next event coming
Oh,
up
Grand
after
Marshal.
The team does some safety checks is opening the side hatch. very exciting. We're going to see the crew for the first time. And they're gonna see
Drivers,
Earth for the first
start
time in
your
less than 3 days ago.
Well, they've
engines.
seen Earth.
They've seen Earth.
Oh wow, she
From
went
space.
for it.
They'll see Earth from Earth now.
They'll become Earthlings again.
What you heard was some comms, just letting the crew know that they will be translating the Dragon on the nest and reorienting it into a position on Ghost Searcher so that it is in a good, stable position for them to open the hatch.
So while Dragon's top hatch
Mate, you just got
houses the cupola, the astronauts will egress from Dragon's side hatch. That's what you see in the center of your screen. Pending capsule orientation from the water. So before opening the hatch, the spacecraft has to equalize the cabin pressure with the outside environment. Once the hatch is open, that will be Jared, Haley, Cyan, and Chris's first breath of fresh Earth air since boarding Falcon 9 at the start of their mission on September 15th.
absolutely mad.
Just now joining us, you are watching the Inspiration 4 mission. The Inspiration 4 crew is back home on Earth. We have lifted Dragon with the crew onto the recovery vessel, and currently in a minute or so they should be translating the vehicle into a position where they can open the side hatch and then perform the next steps for egressing, which will include a medical officer checking on them prior to that egress.
Yeah, and on the right-hand side of your screen, that's a live shot inside the capsule.
And you'll see that little black part just in between the two chairs. That's the hatch. That will open up. There it is. So there's the hatch. Oh, no signal. This isn't me, this is the... Oh, we've got a black screen. Oh, they're moving it.
There it is. They are
Bye.
translating the vehicle to just under the
So what are they doing?
helicopter pad on the vessel.
Oh, okay, I see. That's... Oh man, that's sick.
Like they're starting to wash it down, get it clean, prepared for that hatch opening.
So why are they...
This is essentially an egress or a platform for the crew members to exit. Dragon is quite large, and the side hatch is quite a bit a ways up, and so we want to make sure that when we open the side hatch, they can just comfortably get out.
Hang on, wait, what? They got...
There is a ladder as they prep for hatch.
I was going to say, because the hatch is down the bottom.
For preparation before they open up that side hatch.
They got like take little bolts out at the top. They basically stop the door from coming open at any time. So let's say the lock's broke because it's like the claw mechanisms and the bolts like in an aeroplane door. So they have an extra layer of security where they have like bolts that go all the way down and they lock through the door. So basically if the locks did come open, it's not going to go anywhere still.
On the right-hand side of the screen, that is, again, a live view inside of the capsule. You can't see their faces, but on the left-hand side of that shot, that's Jared Isaacman, the mission commander. To his right is Dr. Cyan Proctor, the
that is cool.
Mission pilot. To Dr. Cyan's right is Chris Zembrowski, the mission specialist, and to Jared Isaacman's left is Haley Arsenault, the medical officer of the mission. And I'm sure they're all excited to come back to Earth.
Oh, 100%. I bet they are.
Probably still enjoying some in-flight entertainment as Jared.
That's going to be a running joke now for this thing.
The crew for this mission to such incredible individuals, raising money for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, doing science experiments while out in orbit, let alone just being
Pretty cool.
the first all-civilian crew to go to orbit. It's just been so inspirational, and I can't wait to see them egress the
I think
vehicle,
NASCAR's only just about to
shortly
start.
here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very, very exciting time. Yeah, all the science that they've done, all of that data is going to be available essentially to the public. And so, you know, all the experiments that they've done is definitely going to benefit a larger populace than just the specific
Carbush, boo.
Right, and so far, this mission has raised up to $157 million for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, which is incredible. That's going to save a lot of children's lives. Just an incredible mission from start to finish here.
Man, it's just mad. What they've done is just mad. It's like...
Dragon, stand by for side hatch opening and egress. This will be our last call from you. Congratulations, Inspiration 4 crew. Signing off.
They got the Netflix team now. That'll be the Netflix for the last episode.
Great comms.
There we go. Nice.
There you can see the side hatch is now officially open, and some exciting waves from the crew.
How's that? What? It's like a little
Now they are putting on some protection along the hatch door for while they egress the vehicle here.
So
I take it's like
members of the recovery team inside the capsule with the crew members. They're doing some checkouts, make sure everything is good before the crew can exit the capsule. But this is certainly very, very exciting. Again, that hatch has been closed and sealed for 3 days. This is the first time it's opened since we lifted off.
That's all I can say is this is mad.
September 15th. And we have some fist pumps from Jared. I'm sure the entire crew is super excited.
Can see them waving.
They're just waving all the time.
Lots of excitement from the crew as they're getting ready to egress the Dragon spacecraft.
That is pretty sick.
It looks like they are taking their tablets from each of the crew members in preparation for the egress.
So why is it
now,
dark
there's a procedure that they will go through.
at Bristol Motor Speedway?
Even now, as
Oh,
they
fireworks.
the vehicle, it won't just be
Okay.
all of them getting out at once. They will follow a procedure.
It's
I
dark
believe they
there,
will
but
be starting with egress of seat 1.
okay. Unless it's just suddenly got dark. I mean, what? Oh, actually, to be fair, what? 8 o'clock? Something like that? Yeah, I'd say that it's getting dark at that time. I remember it's 10 to 1 in the morning here. Oh, and we have green flag.
If you're just now joining us, you are tuned into the Inspiration 4 all-civilian mission to orbit with the Inspiration 4 crew back home on Earth, getting ready to egress the Dragon vehicle here shortly.
It'll be the first time they've felt gravity and they actually get to stand on their legs. Oh, that's cool.
How incredible. Some hearts. Love it.
Again, that was the crew members of Inspiration 4, as excited as ever. They are back on Earth on the recovery vessel, just waiting to exit the Dragon spacecraft. Some fist bumps going around.
That'd be so sick.
Again, as the crew does begin their egress, they will have a team that does help them as they egress or exit the vehicle. As they have been out in microgravity for the last 3 days, they have not felt the gravity of their own body in 3 days. So this is very
that'd be
standard
nice.
procedure.
I won't feel so
to have some
fat.
support and help as they egress the vehicle. Right now, looks like they are removing the footrests at the bottom of their seats. This will give them some space as they exit.
Space, the final frontier.
Yeah, that is a good thing to note that when we land, we also recline the seats back down to make it a little bit easier for the astronauts and crew members to exit the vehicle.
That is pretty sick. Man, I think someone's having a barbecue in NASCAR in the middle of the track.
Crew member Haley Arsenault.
Oh no, it's the fireworks.
Egressing the
It's the smoke from the fireworks. Nice.
She was sitting in seat 1 to the left.
That must feel so weird. Like when you come out of a pool and you get up and you sort of walk and you're like, hang on a minute, I can't feel my legs. And just testing out like her moving around.
We're very excited, even if we're just looking at the backside of her SpaceX spacesuit helmet.
That's sick. I suppose she hasn't done like that, the jumpy about sort of thing. That's bloody mad. Man, I am so tired. Jared's waving, fist bumping. There you go. Nice.
Medical officer Haley Arsenault has now egressed the vehicle, the first of the Inspiration 4 crew, and
the
so
first
very
person
excited.
in space with a
Lots of
prosthetic
waves, thumbs up.
part on her body. The mate's there like, don't fall forward, don't
Getting a
do
little
it.
photo up. And it looks like up next is Dr. Cyan Proctor.
Yeah, Jared will probably go
Very
last.
exciting for the crew to be exiting the capsule and finishing their Inspiration 4 mission, a mission that's done so much for folks around the world.
Yes, absolutely inspiring all the way around. Just an incredible mission with an incredible crew.
Nice.
Here comes Dr. Cyan Proctor.
There she is.
There she is, excited as ever. Dr.
waves.
Cyan Proctor. Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's good. She's happy. First female. Oh, and a bit of a strut. Woo!
Oh.
I think the first female black lady. I think.
Looks like mission specialist Chris
If I remember
Simbrowski
right.
is up
No.
next to egress the vehicle.
I don't even know now. It's something like that. I can't remember what it is.
Looks like some
Oh.
dancing there.
They're showing it's easy to recover.
Again, there is crew there to help them egress to make sure that they do not damage their suits or themselves on their way out.
Nice. Oh, he hit the door. Bit of a taller fella.
Chris Simbrowski again, the mission specialist.
Yeah, Jared's last. Look.
Again, with a smile all over his face, super excited, ready to go.
That is
Yeah,
awesome.
there we go.
That is awesome.
Last but not least, we have Commander Jared Isaacman getting
Here
ready
he
to
comes.
egress the vehicle as well. The final fourth Inspiration 4 crew member of the first all-civilian crew mission to orbit.
And what a way to close it out. He
mad.
was really the person with the vision.
Yep. He had the vision of all this. It'd be funny, he'd be the one who, like...
Commander Jared Isaacman of the Inspiration 4
Let's see,
crew.
you've got no control over your
So
body, like...
excited.
You think you have, but you haven't, you're sort of stumbling. You could see the two blokes there, they were like, sort of guiding him.
Hugs all around.
Amazing.
The
Now,
old
they
fist
will
bump.
be doing a standard procedure, going into
Checking
the
them
medical
over.
room on the recovery vessel, and doing some medical checks to make sure that the crew is safe and healthy. And then they will hop on a helicopter and head back to Florida.
Yeah, well, now that Jared, Haley, Cyan, and Chris are safely back home on Earth and getting checked out by our medical team, we're going to wrap up our live coverage of the historic return. We started this day about 2 hours ago. We had successful trunk separation. We completed a deorbit burn, closed the nose cone. We got through that blackout period of communications. Both
Oh, someone's just hit the wall a little bit on
deployed,
NASCAR.
Awesome. And
Fine,
the crew
no?
splashed down. We hoisted them up, and they have just exited the vehicle.
Next
Oh,
up, they
God,
will
I gotta
catch
stop
a helicopter
yawning.
ride back to shore, where they will be rejoined by their families to welcome back to the Inspiration 4 crew. It has been an honor and a privilege to share their journey with all of you as we continue this new era in human spaceflight.
Yes, for updates, check out our social media. Also, be sure to donate to St. Jude. There's a donation button if you're watching on YouTube on the right-hand side of your screen. The Netflix documentary is coming out with its 5th and final episode here shortly as well, and that will conclude liftoff and splashdown return of the Inspiration 4
That's
mission.
mad.
Again, thank you to everyone that
Definitely
has joined us so far. and
check
thank you
out
everyone
that
for following along.
Netflix series.
We'll see you next
Bloody
time.
awesome. Right, guys, there we go. We have had splashdown. Everyone got out absolutely fine. What a awesome, you know, it truly is inspirational. To think that they're for almost every day, you know, people. I'd say, what was it? Chris is probably the most normal one out of them all. But yeah, that's our coverage for today. It's now almost 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to watch a little bit of this NASCAR, and then I'm going to go to bed. I've got my daughter's christening today, technically in just under 11 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. So guys, thank you very much for coming. I'm Lee. Fly safe, land safer. Oh, my goodness. Uh,